Morning, afternoon, or wherever you might be in the world at the time that you see this. But I'm going to put my other earbud in so I feel balanced. And look, aren't these good? Oh, campsite earrings. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. Love them. Anyways, how we all doing? I'm doing well. I got my first book yesterday, and I gave it to my neighbor. Well, actually, it was his. He gave it to me so I could take pictures of it because I haven't gotten my personal copies yet, my author copies, as we say it. And so his came in, so I took pictures with it, and I'm so excited. Yeah, you guys have no idea. It's very. People keep asking if it's a book. It's not. It's a gratitude journal. But what took time is me selecting things in it to go with it. Affirmations, some insightful tips about health, just things about me that help me during my time of transition. And I've been transitioning for a very long time, to say the least. You know, there's a lot of things that I had to work on for myself, and a lot of things I had to stop doing, in habits and thought processes. And just this journal, if I would have had it, it would have made me probably skip further along, But as we know, timing is everything. Divine always say, when it's your time, it's your time. And anything that is meant for you will never pass you by. It's just a matter of when it gets delivered to you, because you have to be in the right mindset, and you have to have gratitude, you guys. Gratitude is how you pull in your manifestations. It is not demanding. It is being within yourself and being within peace. And if you are not a peaceful person, now don't take this as criticism. This is just meant as, wait, better, I always forget to turn that lid off. If you don't have peace within you, you're not going to be able to go about life in a peaceful way, because there's always going to be that rumbling underneath that all of a sudden it comes out at times where you don't want it to come out, and then people look at you funny, and then people think you're out of your mind. And oh, believe me, I used to do it a lot, where I would let things pile up, and then all of a sudden it would be a big explosion, and it would be a laundry list. Oh yeah. But the thing is I would just never speak my mind, and I would just take it from people, and I would just, always be the kind one. Well, I've learned over the years, there is a way that you can speak your mind, still be kind about it, but still get your point across. And the poor me syndrome doesn't really work with me anymore when I see repeated behaviors. Now, I've said this before, many videos, long time ago, but once your mistakes become your habits become your lifestyle. Think about that. Mistake is a mistake. As long as you don't do it again, or intentionally do it again, it's literally just that. It's a mistake. But when you keep repeating those behaviors that are hurting you versus anybody else, really, that's a lifestyle. So think about it. And again, not meant critical. Anything I say on my channel is brought based out of either I've been through it, I want to give you some education on things that I have learned, and it's taken me 25 years to learn a lot of this stuff, and or, just to be helpful, period, to people. So, two different decks today. I actually used a tarot deck, which I don't do often, but there is one that I love. It's called the Goddess Tarot, and I actually got it from a friend of mine years ago. She was no longer using it, and I love it because us women, who are considered the, second whatever in this world, which, go pound sand, we are not. We are actually the true leaders who nurture, who bring things to light, who create many things that get shunned because we're a woman. Now, I'll give you an example. I used to work for a company, I'm not going to say the name of the company, years ago, and I think I was one of 2 women in the management staff. And I was never called to many of the meetings. I was never called to many of that. Why? Because I always had something to say. And if anybody that knows me knows I always have something to say. But it was the fact that they didn't want to hear my ideas. And it was really kind of funny because twice this happened. As I would present an idea, they would try everything else first. And then they would try mine, and mine would work. Thing about it is, what people don't realize, the amount of information that goes through a lady's head during the day with all the lists, and I'm telling you, I'm still guilty of it. Things that I write on continuously throughout the day that I have to get into one booklet just so that I don't lose the information is beyond anything that I could even explain to anybody. It's just creativity, and the amount of books that I have, meaning journals that I write in, are not only for creativity but for spiritualness, for my consulting businesses, for my social media marketing, for everything that I do in my world, even for my Mr. Bob and my dad, and it's just, I'm telling you, that's why I stay home too. Sometimes it's just the overwhelming amount of work that I do in a day, and it's incredible. But the deck, this is a bottom of the deck. Whale Spirit, Trust the Great Mystery. It's what I've started doing. And it's by Colette Baron Reed. It's the Spirit Animal Oracle. And it's, again, she is one of my favorite, her and Rebecca Campbell. This is a cool deck because it explains, about the signs of, animals in our world. So, the first one we got was Porcupine Spirit. And it reads, Time for a Beginner Mind. It's number 48 for numerology people. And that's actually, guys, where my studies started, was in numerology. I'm a numbers person. I love numbers. My dad was a mathematician, so makes sense, right? He was an engineer on the constellation in the Vietnam War. So, he was one of those smart guys that installed stuff and, had a lot of people that worked for him. And, my dad never really talked about it. I don't know why I'm going off tangent here, but he never really talked about those years. And I think they were kind of bittersweet for him because he was gone so much, and, him and my mom weren't really together very much, and, they ended up getting divorced. I think I was 3 or 4 is when Mom moved back home, and it's just very, very, very interesting. Yeah, I lived in the San Diego Naval Housing when I was a little girl on Coronado Island. Don't remember a lot of it, but I do remember 2 things. One was standing at my sliding door when I was a little girl. I don't even know how old I was. Maybe I was 2. And watching, we had a pool outside, and watching the water come out of the pool during the earthquake. And Mom was in the kitchen or something or whatever, but I just remember standing there at the door and watching this and going, here comes the water. It's just a very strange thing. And then, I don't know if I have them still. I used to. I had one on my eyes. I think right there. But there was a cat. And it's amazing that I love cats as much as I do. That I think it was about 8 or 9 months old. And I walked really early. I walked at like 9 months, 10 months maybe. It was in my backyard. And I don't remember this. This is, a story I was told. But I got attacked physically by the cat. And we had big fences, I guess, in the backyard at the time. And jumped the fence and like kind of mauled my face as a little child. So I think I've had something, kind of coming after me all my life. Just stop her. She's got a voice and we don't want it to be heard. Well, here I am, people. Too bad. So, back to the Porcupine Spirit. It's time for a beginner mind. Meaning, the world is your oyster. The world. You have the entire world. Choose something to do that's going to make you happy. Choose something that's going to be a beautiful thing in your world. Whatever it might be. It can be small. It can be little. It can be as small as my little gratitude journal. Go do something like that. I mean, it has brought me so much joy to be able to just send it out to the world to hopefully help some people journal their thoughts, think about what they're doing, get the shit out of their head onto the paper. And I'm probably going to have to make a bigger one because my journal's about halfway through my spiritual one. I'll have to get another one. But next card is Dove Spirit. It's number 21. Be at peace. And what, of course, did we get pulled with that one? 5 of Wands. 5 of Staves. People are going to come at you. People are going to try and make that voice of mine not be heard. And they're going to try and shut you up because they don't like what you're saying. But you know what? Too bad. We all have freedom of speech, so just keep soldiering on and don't let it bother you. Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. It's number 20. The dolphin one, I don't know. Let's look at it. I know what I feel. That's not always. The Oracle message. Like her earthly manifestation is a reminder of duality. So dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit, both this and that. Two truths coexist, the story you tell in another as well. So, interdimensional. Excuse me, the duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too in the helpers that appear. So, yes, and I wrote that down not too long ago. Let's see if I can find it in the journal. One of many. Yes, and I highlighted it, of course. Your struggles are not in the way. They are the way. Your struggles are not in the way. They are the way. Meaning, the duality of life is present when we are suffering. So, the things you go through, the things that happen to you, the things that you struggle with are the way. Because they're there to teach you something. And I always say, what am I here to learn? What am I here to learn in this situation? Why am I going through this difficult situation? What haven't I learned that you're still trying to throw in my face? Because I'm telling you, I've seen the pattern in my life in different people. I keep gravitating toward that same type of individual because I want to help them so bad, but yet I can't because they got to do the work themselves. Understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, under that dolphin spirit, Queen of Staves, Queen of Wands, what does she do? She works hard. She brings in peace. She brings in comfort. She brings in the things. She's solid with herself. And she's able to share that with the world. Okay? Last one being Moss Spirit. Number 39. Surrender. Surrender to whoever your higher being is. Let them lead you. Start listening. Because if you're not, you think you know it all, and you think you're one of those people that knows better than Source or Spirit, your life is going to be that much more difficult because you're fighting the system. Just saying. Big contemplation. And this little lady in the front, she was a Chinese goddess that was banished to the moon. Okay? Contemplating the things that you need to do. And what she did, I'll read her too, is she chose differently with the contemplation. The need for a withdrawal from the world in order to contemplate the universal questions of life, which I do a lot of, stay home a lot sometimes. She lived among the other gods and goddesses with her husband. And the meaning is the need to go within to gain knowledge to one's own divinity, withdrawal to better contemplate life's directions, retreat into your inner life. This time your needs are not so focused on relationships with others, but on your relationship with yourself. So, what is that saying? Take a break. Rest a little bit. This eclipse that we went through last night, when I read the charts on it, from about 10 o'clock till about 2 or 3 in the morning, which we call the witchy hour, it was pretty intense. Now, if you had a lot of dreams and you had a lot of intense things going on, it probably was because of that. And you're going to have the residual effects for a few days, sometimes even weeks. I've got drainage just horribly, my sinuses and my ears and everything else coming out. But what it's asking you to do, go within. Quit asking everybody else. Go within. Sit with yourself. Put it on paper in my journal if you need to. Or whatever you want to write in. I mean, this is my current journal, one of them. Got nothing on it. But I write in it almost every day. And in the days that I don't write in it, I can feel it because it gets bottled up in here. Because your thoughts are just that. They're just thoughts. It isn't who you are. Who you are is within this heart right here. And when you start to lead with that heart versus listening to the outside world, and go and do the things that make you happy versus what makes everybody else happy, your life takes a big turn. So, I love you. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. Looks like it's going to be, let's look. Want to see? Looks nice out there. Can we see it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. All our trees are turning. So, all right, guys. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon, right?